The UNHCR, or United Nations Refugee Agency, the global organisation's front line in helping migrants and refugees on the move. Founded in 1950, UNHCR now works in 137 countries, providing shelter, food, water and medical care to the world's most vulnerable, the forcibly displaced and stateless. In Latin America, over 20 million people face such a scenario. Silvia Garduño works at the UNHCR Mexico mission.
UNHCR arrived in Mexico in 1982, in the midst of the Guatemalan refugee crisis, and we continue to have an important presence here, protecting those fleeing war, conflict, persecution and violence.
For Eunice Rendon, the director of Agenda Migrante, a coalition of refugee aid organisations across Latin America and the Caribbean, the UNHCR has been a cornerstone of their work.
UNHCR has been very important in the development of humanitarian migration policies, directly funding regional governments' refugee programs and establishing economic inclusion programs with the private sector to highlight these people's value as human resources.
Nevertheless, in 2025, the Trump administration's withdrawal of US funding for overseas aid has forced the agency to shrink. In Mexico's mission alone, 4 regional offices have been closed and nearly 200 UNHCR workers laid off, a severe cutback in a country that processed nearly 80,000 asylum claims last year.
In 2025, our budget in Mexico was reduced by around 60%. Now we have to be much more strategic so that refugees feel the least possible impact.
Despite the difficulties, the UN agency's activities will remain essential as the organisation turns 80.
If the world were peaceful and free of conflict, UNHCR wouldn't exist. The fact that we are still needed shows the world is not heading in the right direction, and we will continue to fight for the human right to asylum.
Latest figures from UNHCR estimate more than 122 million people are currently displaced worldwide, twice the population it was created to help in the aftermath of World War II. As the UN celebrates its 80th anniversary, migration experts say its role is more vital than ever. Alasdair, Baverstock, CGTN, Mexico City.